Hey guys, Justin at Vintage55 again. Another how-to video. I'm just going to show you a quick rundown of different spray paints that you can use on a non-professional level, and stuff that I keep stocked in my little paint drawer. And I'm going to show you a quick spray paint tutorial. So the stuff I normally stock: all different primers. Filler primer, and there's a couple different types. There's filler primer, and that basically is really thick, kind of fills in little holes and divots and things like that. Not like body work, but it gets you the last little bit. It's real thick. It's sandable. Self-etching primer, that's for stuff that's like bare metal, things you're worried about the primer kind of chipping off on. This actually eats into it like kind of an acid. Kind of clings a little bit better when I use this on stuff like that. And then just a regular primer is what you would use on most things to get it ready for paint. And that comes in all different colors. This is white, there's gray, rust brown color, black, all different colors. You kind of want to match that to whatever you're painting, just so you don't get any kind of contrast underneath the paint. High heat stuff on cars, anything that's going to be exposed to heat a lot, you're going to want to use a high heat paint. It's going to be like calipers, or caliper paint, or header paint, stuff like that. Sell it at AutoZone. But what I use it for primarily is if I'm gonna, do a bracket in a car, or a an air cleaner under a hood or something like that, where it's not going to be direct heat, but there will be a lot of kind of directed heat from something near it. Use high heat paint. And then the two go-to for things like brackets and frames and anything that really doesn't matter in terms of paint, but you want to seal it, and you want to seal it pretty well. You don't want to get a paint gun or anything like that out. It's the stuff that Rust-Oleum makes called appliance epoxy. It works amazing. It's super, super thick, and it actually catalyzes and hardens like a single stage paint that I use on other things, but kind of a lesser version. And you don't mix it, it's in a rattle can, and that comes in black, white, and almond only. But it's really great for brackets, undersides of things, things like that. Things that you just need to get some paint on it so it doesn't rust. It's real good paint. It doesn't let water through it. There's not pores in it. So, real quick on how to shoot spray paint, just because it seems like nobody knows how for some reason. First off, you're going to wear a mask. I'm actually not going to, just because I'm going to shoot a little tiny section, but I need to be able to talk to you, so I'm not going to wear it. But normally, any kind of respirator, I recommend 3M. They make the best ones, so you're not inhaling fumes, obviously. But anyway, you shake up your paint real good, and then what most people do when they paint, they just hold the button down and go, which does not work. You get runs, you get buildup, you get way too much paint or too little paint. And then what you do is you go back afterward, and all the little low spots, you go again and just pile on more paint, and it ends up looking horrible. So first off, you want to take a degreasing rag, any kind of wipe, things like that, non-oily, wipe it down, make sure there's no dust on it, because that will come up even through spray paint. And then after that, what you do is it's all in your hand motion and your finger motion. It's not where you go, because if you see, this area is running faster than the center did. That's because there's double the amount of paint on each of those ends if you just hold it down. And what happens is when you go at the very end, you're actually doubling up. So you go and then one, and then two. So your center's only getting one coat, and each of your ends where you double back is getting two. And so you end up with double paint. That's why you end up with runs mid-paint. What you want to do is actually fan in and out. So you start here and you go, and you just want to barely over cover what you already did. And what that does is it makes an even coat. But by releasing, what you're doing is you're getting a single coat in the middle and actually half a coat on each end. But then when you go over it, when you come back, you're getting another half a coat on each end, which gives you a full coat total and a full coat in the middle. And it's still kind of a, you got to get used to it kind of a game. But That's the general idea of it, rather than just going like everybody seems to do. But if you do that, I'm making it run to show you the amount of paint. But if you do that, it's an even coat, and you see it doesn't run either side farther. And that's because I fanned in and out when I did it, like that. And you can see all this. There's no runs down here. This is the initial point where it was too close. And this is as you go farther off. And if you go too far, then you start getting this spotty stuff. And so it's right in between where you're not so close that it makes a run, but you're not so far away that it doesn't cling. And if you look, it kind of fades out, and that's because I'm letting off the trigger as I go like this. And that's really the trick to spray paint. No matter what you're painting, if it's primer, if it's actual spray paint, if it's heat paint, you know, whatever it is, it's a matter of finger and hand coordination together. But anyway, so as far as spray paints that I use regularly, that's pretty much it. All the color paints that you see, all the surface paints, that's all auto single stage paint that you need to shoot through a gun, obviously, and mix, and there's multiple parts to it. But this is all just rattle can, good for brackets, good for priming, good for things like that. So yeah, for your home garage, that'll do for a lot of different things. Thank you guys.